this is a resume review of a software developer intern. Or actually software developer. They're kind of looking for both, which I'll get into in a minute. And by minute, I mean right now. So if you're applying to intern positions, there is a fundamental difference in applying to full-time positions. In fact, you should not use the same resume you use for internships that you use for full-time. With the exception of like master level internships, if you're doing like bachelor level internships, your qualifications are going to be different. So for interns in particular, I just need a basic knowledge of the tech stack. I need your language library, SQL, cloud, that kind of stuff. I need the ability to work well with others, and I need the takes direction and criticism. Now, the problem with that is that's great for interns. If you're looking for a full-time position, then it's going to change based on if you're front-end, full stack, back-end Java, back-end C, or back-end Python. As an example, back-end Python is this, and that's going to be different than all the others. So you are going to need 2 resumes. One for the internships, one for the full-time jobs. So I'm going to dig into that and see which is which, but I don't think it's going to work because you really can't have a resume for both. And you have a ratio of 100 to 1. So this should be 1 line, maybe 2, and you can keep the available for this. This, again, isn't really needed. You've listed everything to the point where it doesn't matter. And again, skill sections largely are not relevant. Full stack developer. All right, here we're going to actual stuff. Canadian revenue, this should be 1 line. So the formatting on this is very off. Also, just to remind everybody, please like, comment, and subscribe. Really helps me out. I appreciate it. This is the formatting you should be using. It is on my website. The link is below. It is basic, it is simple, and it will get you a job. Although formatting is only 40% of the actual resume part. Like, if we have to score your resume on a grade, 40% of it would be formatting. So if formatting alone will not get you a job, but it will help. All right. So design and optimize SQL. That's fine. Led full stack development of struts. Okay. Jira business. Okay. Yeah. So this doesn't give me enough for a full-time position, at least here. This is actually solid and gives a good amount. I actually like this. This is solid. RESTful APIs. Okay. So this does not give me enough. I need to know which languages you used primarily. These ones. SQL is great. Keep the SQL. Keep the Jira. If you're going for full-time, though, I'm going to need to know what your stack is, and I don't know what that is. I know you use SQL, which is good, but that's kind of in most of them. SQL is in, like, most... You kind of need SQL no matter what you're doing. I don't know why, but that's in every single job description practically. So, and you said full stack development. I want more. What is it? TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML. I need those things here. Now, if you were, this sentence can be changed. So for internships, you need to tell me how you collaborated with them, right? Did you go into meetings? Did they give you like criticism, that kind of thing? Well, for a full-time position, I'm going to need a little bit more keywords for that. So that is the difference between the two of those. So also they doxed everything else except maybe the name, so I think that's okay to put in. You know, if it's not and you really don't want that shown, then I will edit the video and delete this entire section. But I think since you leave everything else should be fine. So yeah, this isn't a good one, a good project. Your formatting is off, but primarily is I don't see what I would need to move you forward as an engineer for a full-time job. You might have enough here for a internship, but I think you really need to split these resumes into 2. And the internship one is going to be an okay amount of keywords, which you kind of have, but a little bit more about working together, while the full-time position is going to be, well, more keyword-based. So that is all I can really say on this one. I don't think it would pass for a full-time job, but it would maybe pass for an internship. And I think the fact that you have 1 in 100 is probably showing that as well. So we need to split this into 2 resumes if you're doing that. Let's go to the next one. A resume of an account executive. So they have done 50-to-1 ratio, and they're looking for about 200 plus K salary account roles. So there are not a ton of those, admittedly. I only found 1,600 on LinkedIn. Obviously, there's going to be a few more than that because commission is sometimes hard to calculate based on these things, but the competition for that is going to be pretty big. So what we're going to be looking for primarily is going to be selling, now obviously negotiating, stakeholders, technical stakeholders that you've negotiated and dealt with people from IC to C, B2B, you've exceeded revenue targets and non-revenue based goals, capital markets, biz dev, industry, and probably the most important, even though it is last, is you've had previous success. I need to understand particularly how you succeeded, how important it was, and why we should move you forward. So, let us begin. Your formatting is not good. Please use the formatting I have. It's a lot clearer. These conflicting colors and types of stuff will make it much harder for your recruiter to find what they need. So, and these bullet points are way too fancy. But achieved Summit Club status. Okay, you have to describe what Summit Club status is. I don't know what a Summit Club status is. I don't. You will have to describe that to me. You can say, like, exceeding sales quotas and demonstrating top tier is great, but I don't know what you... So here's the thing. Industry is important. I don't know what you do. You say you're a sled account executive, so you sell sleds that, like, you know, Huskies use in Alaska. I don't know what you do. You need a summary sentence right here about what you do. And you need to show me what you do. How do you do it? I need to know that. Remember, I want you to make the summary sentence like you're at a career day for a kindergarten. If you go to a career day and you say, there's a bunch of kindergartners and they go, hey, Lee, what do you do? And I go, I achieved Summit Club status in FY 2004, which exceeded sales quotas and top tier performance. Those kids are going to be like, what? I don't understand. What did you do? So I need you to describe it in a way that they would understand. And then the rest of them can be your actual accomplishments. But this is solid, but I still want a little bit more. Drove a 27% year-over-year increase in net new accounts, significantly expanding our market share. That's solid. I'd like a little bit more. Secured high-value contracts with stock navigation complex processes, contributing to overall company growth. Again, this one's actually solid. I like this. But I want to know a little bit more about how you did that. Did you do it through cold calls? Did you do it through outreach? Just give me a little bit more, right? Like, you're giving me the what and the why, but you're not giving me the how. And I really need the what you did, how you did it, and why you did it. And right now you're missing sorry, I moved my hand down. That was not what I meant to do. The what, the how, the why, and you are missing the why. So, yeah, I'm done with the hand thing. The what, the how, and the why, and you're missing the how. All right? I need to know the how. You are not telling me that. I need to know. Establish long-term loyalty evidence. But again, how did you do it? These are good keywords. These are right. And this is why you're getting a 1 in 50. But you can probably get this higher. Seems like you're a very solid salesperson. I just need to know more. You need to give me the how. Top performing organization benchmark. Okay. Implemented different for sales. I don't know if these are as needed. This is okay if you're going to IT because it shows that you at least know IT, but ideally as an account executive, I need more. So the bulk of yours should be here. So could I move this forward? Probably. I think 1 in 50 is, again, a C- for this type of role, and I think it's accurate to say that it would be okay to move this forward now and then, but your accomplishments are not, you're not showing how you did what you did, which could be very much a deal breaker for the manager, and I could not move you forward in every role. So that's what I have to say about this one. Again, this is a 50-1, so I think a C- is accurate. It passes, but barely, and I think if you do those changes, which is fix up the bullet points and fix up the formatting, you might be able to get like a 1 in 25, 1 in 35, give or take. So I know it's still a lot, but the market's bad, but it's better than 1 in 50. So, next resume. This is a resume of a business development director. So, full disclosure, director level positions actually may require a slightly different resume. There is another format that I have. The format that I have is primarily for non-director level. It's possible this person could use that or not, but the other format may be better. It's just kind of a nightmare to teach, so I don't really teach it unless people specifically ask for it on the stream, because again, it's really only for like high-level director type of positions, which this one may qualify for. So this person is, again, director of business development. They have a 1 to 50 ratio, which is like a C-. It passes, but barely, but it does pass, and I think that's the important part. Sometimes it is important to just pass. So what we're going to be looking for is going to be a little bit different than the other ones. As this is a director level, we are primarily going to be looking for little stories. They are all going to be based on how you succeeded and how you solved problems involving these. So I don't want to just see the keywords. This is a qualification based. I don't want to just see the keywords industry. I want to know what industry you are. I want to see that you've done long sales with multiple stakeholders. You've done B2B. You've negotiated from C-suite level to business leader level with IT and procurement. You've done successful transactions. And in addition, I don't normally do this or put this up, but this is the Boolean search that I use to pull up the positions. If you are the director who's reading this, you can just copy paste this directly or type this in. Every little bit of this matters. So even that a space is wrong, so do not miss any punctuation or space. This should pull up a lot more positions than just director of business development. So the very first thing about this is an eyesore. This is the way it shows to me. I don't even know if this is legible for people. I'm going to try to increase the font, I guess, to make it more legible, but so yeah. This, you don't want this. You don't want it to be this stuff. I had to increase the font size. Font size should be 10.5 Arial. I don't know what this is, but something about this is making this very hard to read for me. So, highly organized and results of special development with a robust background in automotive and industrial automation. Okay, again, you don't need a summary for this type of resume, but you might need a summary for the other type of resume. Also, again, never combine those two types of resumes. They do not work together. So I don't think this is very much needed. You should probably have your education, which I don't see anywhere here. Some of them did require it. It was a benefit to just put up top. But created and executed a strategy to growth in cybersecurity. So cybersecurity is good because I know what industry it is. Problem is, I don't know how successful this was. So obviously the formatting is off on this. I don't like any of the formatting, but I'm going to go to the content of this. So, establish new client relationships by targeting key industries and sectors to require cybersecurity services, mainly targeting small to medium-sized business. This is solid. I just need to, and this shows that it worked. Also, it should be established. Everything should be past tense, not current tense, even if you're still at the job. I know that's weird. It just flows better. This should also be one sentence, but I mean, in general, like, I know there's a lot of things I'm saying to fix on this. This is reason this is a C-, is this is still passing. It's barely passing, but it's still passing because you mentioned the industry. You did mention how you did this, which is good. So this part is solid. I just want to know how this succeeded. Identified and pursue new business opportunities from scratch, focusing on lead generation conversions. I need to know the success stories. This is the difference between writing an IC resume and a director level resume. Is for IC positions, which is individual contributors, they tell you what a problem is and then you immediately fix it. For director levels, your jobs is to solve those problems and direct others to solve those problems and anticipate future problems and fix them. And I'm not seeing that in this resume. Again, it's not terrible. I see a little bit of how you do here, but you could do more. Heavily focused on scaling revenue. How? Through targeting. And what was the result of that? You're just telling me the what. You're not telling me the how or the why. Providing regular Salesforce product report analysts to the team. That's fine. I like that. But what team? How big was the team? Was it your team? Was it the other person's team? Stay up to date with the latest trends in cybersecurity to inform sales tactics and product offerings. That one's actually solid. I don't think you need to change anything. So, close 450 of automation project within the 4-6 months of the start of the company. Tracking sales. I don't know what the second part is, but this is solid. Remember, every single one is a single line. So every single bullet point is a single line. Created a business development process for onboarding of new team members. Again, how was that successful? But it's not bad. You see portfolio of clients. Okay, yeah. I don't know if I need to read the rest of this. I think the same problem is occurring throughout this. Is you are not giving me enough detail. Right? You do not need to say sold 3 billion percentages of quarter XY, which is a 17% increase compared to 13% of the 14%. But I would like to know just a little bit more. Like what was this growth strategy, right? Like created and executed a sales strategy of targeting people on TikTok, which succeeded in driving growth in our cybersecurity market. That would be a fine sentence. Establish new clients targeting key industries and sectors that required cybersecurity by cold emailing them and blankety blank. Small to medium-sized business, which resulted in new customers, that kind of thing. So that's really what I'm looking for, and why you're getting 1 in 50. But I think you could probably get like 1 in 30, 1 in 40 with that, or maybe even 1 in 25 if you just fix the bullet points and the formatting. Again, this is 25% increased speed. This is what it actually looks like. So fix the formatting for sure. Even if you don't use the other format that I could tell you about, just make it way easier to read, because this is an eyesore. Like the colors and the small font and everything. So that is all I can do in this one. But again, C- does pass barely. Could be very improved, but again, does pass. The important thing is it does pass. So let's go to the next. This is a resume of a software engineer full stack. So thank you very much for telling me what you are. It makes it a heck of a lot easier. What we're looking for is TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node, Angular, SQL, React, API, REST, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, and any extra languages. You also said you're open to front end or back end, but we're going to look specifically at full stack because front end resumes or back end resumes are going to be different resumes. And then you said US no sponsorship. I don't know if that means you need sponsorship or you don't require it, but that's not really related for reviewing the resume anyway. So, all right, let's review it. So formatting's off. Too much bolding. Again, these lines can make it worse because, like, right now, look, here's why the formatting is important, right? You need to judge a resume in 15 seconds. And if the recruiter is, say, having a giant headache because of their sinuses, a la this one, it's possible they may miss something in those 15 seconds. So, and easier formatting means it's less chance to be missed, because you always need to take into account human error involving your resume and interviewing in general. This should be one line and italicized and not bolded. So developed React Native and integrated NoSQL with Google Cloud Platform, enabling authentic real-time database. Okay. I'd like a little bit more, but that's still not bad. Used React and Node.js, developed JavaScript web application with for live events. JavaScript's fine, collaborative and agile, Notion, and then you said, should I add more below? Yeah. So the problem is I've only got Node.js, JavaScript, SQL, and Cloud. I don't see CSS. I don't see HTML. I don't see TypeScript. I don't see Angular. And again, you don't need all of these, but you need most of them. You do have SQL, which is good. You do have React, which is solid. I don't know if I saw REST. So you're missing a couple of things here. Not a ton. You just need to add them to like this. But other than, and also you should do GCP. So say Google Cloud Platform and then parentheses GCP in case the recruiter isn't aware that Google Cloud Platform is GCP. That is a small chance, but it is possible. And then should you add more below Figma? Again, the problem is, you know what, API is good. You actually do want the API up there. But my issue here is, again, I don't see the CSS, HTML, or TypeScript. Led software project with front end using or? You don't need to say or. You can just say React, HTML, CSS, and backend using Python and Django. See, this is a great one. Guiding 5 teams per year through cloud object oriented design, 10 applications for you. This is actually phenomenal. I really like this bullet point. I don't know if you need this part of it right here, but overall, this is actually a pretty good bullet point. In fact, I want I want you to start writing this, particularly the first one, like this. This is a phenomenal bullet point, has almost everything I need in it, and it's great. So, but yeah, after that, that's kind of it. Again, big thing is formatting here is off, so it's hard to read. And, you know, the hardest job search you will ever have is your first job search, but I don't think this is terrible. The problem is if you are looking for sponsorship, you're going to... Oh, also, here's an issue. Maybe you just deleted them, but you do need where you're located, because finding a remote job like this is going to be very difficult. You're probably going to need to go on site. So, overall, it's okay. I know you have 1 to 50, which means there's probably something else an issue, which is maybe the formatting and the fact that probably they don't actually get to this. And it looks really weird when you have a project lead going into an internship when you've only done a bachelor's. So you could just do this as a project or describe it, but you have to describe this better, because saying project lead into intern is weird. So your formatting's off, your bullet points, your first job needs, or your first internship needs better bullet points, and you do need the city and state you're applying to, along with your LinkedIn. And if you are needing immigration services, you need to describe to the recruiter in a very brief summary of if they could, because they may not be aware that they can just hire you on an OPT. And if you're not on immigration services, then it's beneficial to put green card or U.S. citizen in X. So, but yeah, I wouldn't recommend applying to remote jobs for your first job. Remote jobs have sort of become, you've been doing it for a couple of years, and you're willing to sacrifice some base pay to get a remote job. I wish that wasn't the case. I'm a huge proponent for remote jobs, but unfortunately that is sort of the world that we live in right now. So let's go to the next one. This is a resume of a software developer. What kind? I don't know. All they said is they're on an F1 OPT. So again, if you are on an OPT, you need to sort of very briefly describe that you can work with no... whatever, or how that's going to go, because a lot of recruiters may not know, and I will be saying that if you are international, it's going to take you more. Like, instead of a 1 in 50, you may have a 1 in 100 to a 1 in 75. That's just, unfortunately, the thing is that as an international person, even with the correct visa, you are facing an uphill climb. So let's see if the resume is going to be an issue with that. What kind, again, I don't know what kind of software developer you are. So, Java maybe? Again, this can be 2 lines. This entire thing could be 2 lines max. Software development engineer. Collaborated with a team of 5 engineers to architect a Java Spring Boot microservices. Oh, that's actually really solid. So I'm assuming you're back-end Java, which... I need to update. I don't think these are 100% the correct keywords. I think I'm missing a couple of them. So take this with a grain of salt. But what we'd be sort of looking for is Java, Cloud, Spring, Selenium, SQL, anything with JS, JavaScript, Maven, Full Stack, Apache, Rust, AIML, NLP, LLM. And there's probably more. I need to update that. I don't think it's complete. So immediately what I see... and you don't need to say collaborate. You just say worked with a team of 5 engineers to architect a Java Spring microservices. This is great. It's already like 3 or 4 keywords, because I do know microservices is one that I was missing. Platform handling monitoring daily with Kafka. Kafka's perfect. Engineering multi-thread recommendation. Love Java, Spring Boot, and MongoDB. Yep, perfect. AWS. Here's the thing. So first off, your formatting is off. It's not the worst formatting, all right? Again, it's not the worst formatting. This is still legible. It's just you can make it more legible. This right here, 2 things with this. One, you need to write out what IAC is and then put it in quotation, and then put it in brackets so that the recruiter knows, because it's possible they may know what IAC is or they may not. And then in addition, this should be your second sentence. You need to switch these 2 sentences. But other than that, this is very, very good bullet points. I really like them. Your formatting isn't helping, but it's very good. 2 developers, Spring Boot, CMS for Redis caching, API. Yeah, am I missing SQL? I'm missing SQL. So the only thing you're missing is SQL, and again, these two should be switched, and you need to write out what IAC is, and then put IAC in brackets, and then you can use IAC for the rest of your resume. That is how you teach people what they are, even if they don't know the skills off the top of their head. So, but otherwise, this is very solid. I actually like this. You didn't tell me how many you've applied for, but like I said, the only thing I'm really missing is SQL. And I know there's 1 or 2 things missing from here, but again, you have some of the stuff that I should have put in, like Kafka and MongoDB and the other thing, microservices. So overall, I think your bullet points are good. They just need a little bit of a tweak. The problem is, again, you were international searching for a job, and that's just going to wreck your ratio, right? Like, if you're an international and that you got a 1 to 50, you should feel proud. 1 to 50 is phenomenal for international. It's just, unfortunately, that you're going to have to try harder and apply to more jobs and get more rejections than if you were a natural citizen. I wish that wasn't the case, but that's going to be it. Especially because if they don't know what an OPT is and how a company doesn't really need to sponsor it. Again, it's been a bit since I did that, so do not trust my... talk to a lawyer, basically. Make sure to do that, but overall, I think this is a solid resume, and I don't really need to go past here. I found kind of most everything I wanted. I just want... Oh, here's the SQL. Yeah, so just SQL up here, fix that a little bit, fix the formatting, and I think you're going to stand a very, very, very good chance, even though the cards are stacked against you. But that is it for this resume, and that is it for this video. I will see you all in the next video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out, and I'm here to help y'all get jobs. And if you need it, just stop by my Twitch, link below, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST for about 3 hours, give or take, and I'll help y'all out. So, see you soon.